The campaign then is done, and certainly the sense leaving Lansdowne Road on Friday night was that the Stephen Kenny era was done. Now, you come here, there's Gibraltar tomorrow night, and maybe that gives them that extra month to go into the Dutch game, to get the New Zealand friendly as well, and it gives the FAI a little bit of breathing space. My feeling even on Friday night was they'd be meeting on Tuesday, Wednesday, and that performance probably forced them into the decision. Listening to Stephen Kenny, he admitted there that he had to be realistic himself, that he knew that this campaign was, everything was eyeing on it, and they haven't delivered. Do you think there's any possibility of the FAI coming together this week and deciding to make a change?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe if it's 0-0 after an hour, and sort of, in this game here, and events can always change. Like, there's been various times along the way where it's been speculated the board are going to do this and that, and generally people sleep in it and they realise, well, no. What's the benefits of it? Like, I think sometimes and this is the most deflating aspect of it, like, we talk about these things quite rightly through the prism of the immediacy of the club football scene, where you do that, you get in, you get the caretaker in. I think it's a little bit more complicated at the moment, because it looks like there's a long time until the next match of consequence. B, okay, so are you going to have maybe the candidate? Are you going to rush the process to appoint a senior manager for the sake of games in November that don't matter? I don't think you should do that. And then thirdly, like, there's an absence of a clear candidate that even if you were to sort of give it to a caretaker in the short term, like, that could lead you to making an emotional decision that mightn't be the right thing to do either, if they sort of stimulate initial response. But that might, like, in the absence of candidates, I think a caretaker who come in and done well would probably become the second favourite overnight.
Well, so, like, they have an example there with what's happened with the women's team, where Eileen Gleeson has come in. Obviously, different scenario, very much involved with the FAI, but maybe not. Maybe it is someone from within. You get a couple of results very quickly, and everyone goes, well, actually, that seems to be working out just fine. Why would we look to change it? Yeah, like, I guess my point is, it's not influencing seedings going forward the way things are done. It's all about the Nations League next year. Selling tickets for a game against New Zealand in November. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of them have probably bought them in a package with the game on Friday. There was a good attendance. So a lot of the traditional things we would do. Yes, there is a sense of just urgency, and like, if there was something, and Jonathan Hill has alluded to this at times, like, between the lines, I think maybe if there was a scenario where they actually had an idea of who they wanted, and that person was available and definitely up for it, and they were available now, I think, the discussion might have been different. But in the absence of that, when it comes to a situation, maybe what's the argument is probably to put someone out of their misery. I guess that. I mean, I understand the sentiment. It's hard to argue with people making that point and raising it, and it's possible that there may be people in the FAI board who are looking at things that way. But, like, this is the overall sort of deflation around the overall picture, is that there's no urgency because there's nothing important happening.